Hey guys, it's Lexus, or whatever you guys want to call me. So today I'm going to be talking about something that a lot of people are actually going through. It is based off of a book slash TV series. It is in response to one of my other friends' YouTube channels. And he had posted a video of himself explaining his story. I mean, it was pretty much him just walking and talking about his experience. So I thought that in response, I would talk a little bit about my experience. And of course, because this is a WeedTube channel, I might as well smoke a bowl while I'm doing it. And it is 420, so, happy day. Unfortunately, I am talking about suicide, self-harm, abuse. There's some abuse in my story, so just keep in mind that this is not for younger ages, as if anybody under the age of 18 watches my videos anyway. So, as I said, I am inspired by 13 Reasons Why to tell you my story and how I got through it. Well, you can't really get through being diagnosed, but we're going to go through it. Alright, so, my story. So my name is Alexis Spanky, if you guys don't already know that, and I have been diagnosed as suicidal with chronic depression and severe anxiety. I also overthink, I also have stress, and a whole bunch of other normal human being things, except it's all on a heightened scale for me. Alright, so this is my story of dealing with self-harm, having been through 3 suicide attempts, and everything else in between. So we're actually going to start way back in middle school. So, sorry, I just need to find the middle school card. My life. Okay. Anyway, so middle school. I was bullied. I had an abusive father and not very many friends. That was just one that came up to my head. Alright, so the reason why I was bullied. I was bullied because I'm a bigger girl. I had my hair cut different ways. I didn't wear my makeup the way the girls did. I didn't do what the other girls did and all of that kind of stuff. Just not what they wanted to hear, you know? I was bullied because I was a different person. I didn't really have very many friends. My personality is very hard to get used to. I have a very twisted sense of humor. Yeah. So that happened. So this next reason started in middle school and didn't actually stop until I was in high school in grade 11. So this is my father being abusive. Of course, I'm not going to say any names, or I'm not going to tell you guys anything that you guys wouldn't already assume, but it did happen. So, my father was abusive because he didn't like his job, he didn't like the people he was hanging out with, and everything that I did wrong. I started self-harming at that point. I was experimenting with sharpened pencil ends, like the erasers. You pull out the erasers and sharpen it to a point, and you cut with that. I was experimenting with my nails, which is a tried and true method, which I say don't try. But that was what I chose, and still choose to do. And I'll get to that. I started self-harming because I didn't think that there was anything good in the world that I could do. I started self-harming because my father wasn't proud of me. My mom didn't really want to be a part of my life. She wasn't worried about me because I was getting good grades. I still focused on who I was. She wasn't worried about me. No one was worried about me. And that was the first time that I overdosed on Ritalin, was because my father had abused me to the point where he was grabbing me by my ponytail and pulling me up on the siding of my house. Because I did a stupid thing, that all teens do at one point in their life. I'm not going to tell you what it is because it was illegal, but all teens do it at one of their lives, in their lives at some point. It just happened to be that mine was at a time when my dad wasn't ready to handle it. So, yeah, that happened. After middle school, it started to get a little bit better. I mean, I started to make more friends, and I started to decide that I needed to get out of the life I was living, try to move on with it. In high school, that's when I really started self-harming. I don't know if you guys will be able to see this, but this is the first time that I'm actually showing you guys. There is a scar right there. You guys can see that a little bit. There's a scar. That is 3 weeks old. That was my last time self-harming. You guys won't really be able to see what's on this wrist here, but there's scratch marks all over my wrist. You can see that, and that's why I wear long sleeve shirts and cardigans, is because I don't want anyone seeing it. I'm ashamed of it. Seeing as my life was the way it was, I was stressed out with school, and my anxiety had just flared up, and a whole bunch of other things had gone wrong in my life. But I worked at it every day. I kept my head up, I kept strong, and life just was good again. And I really, really tried. So as I said before, I have had suicide attempts. So I tried 3 times on 3 separate occasions, 3 different ages, completely. And I'll tell you all about all 3. So the first one was on Ritalin when I was only 15 years old. It was me going into high school, and I was stressed out with life. Nobody really got me. A whole bunch of other stuff was going down. My grandfather had just died. A whole bunch of other stuff happened. And I tried to commit suicide with overdosing on the pill Ritalin. I tried overdosing. I woke up in the morning with a bad headache and felt dehydrated. That didn't work. Number 2, I was 17 and I was in a really bad relationship. And I was just having a really hard time accepting that. I'm going to take a hit before my ice melts because I'm doing an ice bong, so I'm just going to take a quick hit. Anyway, back to the story. So, in high school, it got a little bit better, but a little bit worse because the anxiety started, and sorry, I was telling you about my suicide attempts. So the second one was when I was 17. I was in a really bad relationship. No, I was 18, and I was in a really bad relationship, and I started overdosing on seizure medication that I was taking at the time. I do not take that anymore because I have opted for something a little bit more natural, and because you cannot physically overdose on marijuana, which is I'm very happy about. But despite that, I tried to overdose on my seizure medication, and I woke up in the morning again with a bad headache, and I felt a little groggy and dizzy. The next time, I didn't overdose this next time. I didn't try to overdose this next time. I tried to hang myself. Actually, right here in the garage. It's not something I'm proud of, but it happened a few months ago. And that's why this video is going up right after 13 Reasons Why has gained its oomph. Because I know exactly how Hannah felt. Sure, I didn't get labeled as a slut or get labeled as something else. I was labeled as the fat loner. I'm the duff. And suicide for me is a lifelong battle, and it is a daily battle. It's a constant fight between the good and the bad, and standing on that line whether you want to kill yourself or you want to live life and be a happy person. What you have to do is stay strong and be yourself and know in your heart that you were meant to be here. I was meant to be here. Imagine if I'd given up at 15 or 18, that I wouldn't have had the chance to become a medical office assistant to help people for a living. I wouldn't have the chance to make this video and tell people what it's like to have depression and suicidal thoughts constantly. You just have to work at it and know in your heart that everything is going to be okay. And the fact that you're having anxiety today, or you're having a bad day today, like your boyfriend just broke up with you, you just have to get through it, and you have to do it in your own way. That's all I can say for you, and it's up to you if you take my advice, but that's my story. And now I am a SAIT student. I work my ass off so that I can have a future and have a family of my own one day. I work my ass off every day, studying for at least 4 hours a day. I work, I have to go to the gym, and I'm trying to get healthy again. And I'm finally gaining some self-confidence and feeling good about myself. So I make this video for all of you people who just need to hear this, and to hear my story and hear that it can be overcome with the right and hard work. So thank you for watching. If you watched this far, you guys can watch any of my videos. You can subscribe here, or you guys can watch Meeting Opal here. I hope that you guys have a great night, and peace out.